She saved a stranger's life. But what if the secret he carries destroys hers? Hey guys, today we bring you another banger that will keep you at the edge of your seat. But before we dive in, I'm sure you need something to relax with. So why not grab a snack as you sit back to watch this amazing masterpiece? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies like this. The story begins with a young woman named Ronki, who is seen quarreling with her baby daddy, Abby. Their heated fight draws attention until some men step in to separate them. In the confusion, Abby runs off with Ronki's money, and the men chase after him, leaving Ronki wailing behind. A few days later, Ronki's daughter, Ibukun, returns home from school with her class teacher. Ibukun greets her mother and complains that the teacher had helped her with an assignment, but she still failed. Embarrassed, Ronki dismisses her daughter inside. She then pleads with the teacher to tutor Ibukun privately, but the teacher explains that her schedule is already full with other pupils. With that, she politely excuses herself. That night, Ronki applies powder to Ibukun's face to help her sleep, though the child complains it's too much. Afterwards, Ronki gives her a herbal drink, something she specializes in. The next day, Ronki goes about her business marketing her herbal medicine until a man approaches to patronize her. Later that same day, while she is outside, a woman rushes in crying for help. Ronki follows her immediately. A few hours later, Ronki returns home and finds Ibukun and her teacher waiting. They chat briefly before a young man arrives to inform her about an accident nearby. Ronki hurries away with him. The injured man from the accident is later brought into her home for treatment. While tending to him, Ronki tells the men who brought him that she cannot keep him there. It would be inconvenient for her and her child. They reassure her that nothing will happen and promise to return to check on him before leaving. That night, the man regains consciousness and looks around in confusion. Ronki explains that he was in an accident. He struggles to recall what happened, and she soon realizes that he has lost his memory. Hungry, he asks for food, and she gives him something to eat. The next morning, Ibukun's teacher arrives to pick her up for school. After they leave, the injured man steps outside and asks Ronki for water to bathe and a change of clothes. Ronki agrees. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a beautiful young lady named Rose tries calling her boyfriend Romeo, but can't reach him. Annoyed, she assumes he is at his side chick's place. Out of spite, she decides to squander his money while he's away. But why is Rose like this? She never even considers the possibility that Romeo might be missing, kidnapped, or even involved in an accident. All she can think of is that he's cheating on her. Back at Ronki's place, she advised the injured man to rest well so his wounds could heal properly, allowing him to walk again without difficulty. He thanked her sincerely and expressed his gratitude for accommodating him. A few days later, Ronki and the man went out for a walk. While chatting, Ronki decided to give him a name since he couldn't remember his own. She called him Ashiri, meaning mystery or secret. He accepted it with a smile, and they laughed together. They later stopped by the vigilante office to inquire about the car he had the accident with, hoping they might find a lead to help him reach his people. Unfortunately, no information was available, so they left. Meanwhile, Romeo's mother came to ask Rose about her son's whereabouts. Rose rudely dismissed her. When Romeo's mother tried to slap her, Rose grabbed her hand and warned her never to try such a thing again before walking away, leaving the older woman speechless. Wait, could Romeo be the same man staying with Ronki? Let's find out together. The next morning, Ronki gave Ashiri some herbal medicine to help him recover faster. Out of concern, she told him it wasn't convenient for her and her daughter to keep staying under the same roof with him. Ashiri understood and promised to move out soon. Later that day, Ronki went about her business. Meanwhile, Ibukun's teacher dropped her off at home. Since Ronki wasn't back yet, they met Ashiri instead and decided to wait. With her curious mind, Ibukun told Ashiri that her mother had said he was sick, but to her he looked fine. Smiling, Ashiri explained that he was indeed her mother's patient and hadn't fully recovered yet. Not long after, Ronki returned. Her daughter rushed to welcome her, and Ronki thanked the teacher for bringing Ibukun back from school. Once the teacher left, Ronki sat beside Ashiri and asked if his memory had returned. He told her no, so she reassured him that it would come back in due time, then went inside. Inside the house, Ronki was surprised at how neat and tidy everything looked. She thanked Ashiri for cleaning, and Ibukun also expressed her gratitude. The following day, Ronki was seen prescribing herbal medicine to a customer when Ashiri walked in. He complimented her skills, saying she was really good with herbs. Ronki explained that she had learned the practice from her mother and that she intended to teach her daughter as well. Ashiri admitted that he wished he could assist her, but promised to support her in any way he could. Meanwhile, Romeo's mother was at the police station, reporting her missing son and sharing every bit of information she had. After the officer left, she prayed earnestly for his safety. That night, Ashiri felt a sharp pain in his leg. Ronki quickly brought out an ointment and massaged it for him. As she did, he held her hand, feeling an unexpected closeness drawing him toward her. The next day, Ibukun struggled with her math assignment. Ashiri stepped in to help, and Ronki was surprised at how intelligent he was, despite his memory loss. The day after, while Ronki was preparing to hawk her herbal medicine, Ashiri offered to accompany her. She refused at first, but eventually agreed when he explained that he needed the walk to exercise his legs. So they set out together. A few days later, Ashiri was helping Ronki's daughter with her assignment. Ronki, on the other hand, couldn't stop admiring him. One of her neighbors, who noticed the way she was looking at Ashiri, suggested that Ronki should consider him as her man since he was already helping her so much. Ronki, however, quickly dismissed the idea. One day, while Ronki and Ashiri were at their business spot, a woman ran up to them in panic. She told Ronki that her husband had collapsed, and they quickly followed her to her house. At the woman's house, Ronki asked her what had happened. The woman explained that she had caught her husband with a young girl at a bar. When she confronted him, he suddenly fainted. Ronki and Ashiri asked the woman to step outside so they could treat him. Once she left, they realized the man was only pretending. Ronki then threatened to perform a surgical operation on him while he was still conscious. Terrified, the man jumped up and begged them not to tell his wife. Ronki demanded a consultation fee, which he quickly paid, and then they left. The next day, Rose returned from one of her shopping sprees. Romeo's mother confronted her angrily, accusing her of showing no concern for her supposedly missing boyfriend. Rose insisted that Romeo was simply at his ex-girlfriend's place. Furious, Romeo's mother declared that the day Romeo came back would be Rose's last day in the house. Rose only laughed and went into her room. Later that same day, Ronki's baby daddy saw her holding hands with Ashiri and began insulting her. A fight broke out. He pushed Ronki to the ground, and Ashiri stepped in, warning him never to touch her again before pushing him back. Suddenly, Ronki's baby daddy grabbed a piece of wood and struck Ashiri on the head, knocking him unconscious. That night, Rose dreamed of Romeo and kept calling his name. At the same time, Ashiri suddenly jerked back to life and began coughing. Ronki, her daughter, and the teacher rushed in to check on him. Ronki's daughter told him that while he was unconscious, he had kept calling out the names Romeo and Rose. That was the moment he realized his true name was Romeo, and that Rose was his girlfriend. Ronki's expression changed immediately. The teacher quickly took Ronki's daughter outside to give them space to talk. Romeo thanked Ronki deeply for taking care of him. He then remembered how the accident happened and explained everything to her. Ronki, however, grew emotional, feeling as if a part of her life was being taken away. Romeo reassured her, telling her he would never forget her. They shared a brief kiss before Ronki quickly pulled away. The next morning, Ronki and her daughter walked Romeo off, both visibly hurt to see him leave. Later that day, when Romeo finally arrived home, Rose was overjoyed to see him. She ran into his arms, and his mother quickly embraced him as well. They all sat down, and Romeo recounted how Ronki had saved and nursed him back to life after the accident. His mother shared how she had been going from one police station to another while also praying endlessly for his safe return. Rose confessed that she had thought he had gone back to his ex-girlfriend. She apologized, and afterwards she and Romeo went upstairs together. Weeks later, Ronki sat quietly, reminiscing about the beautiful moments she had shared with Romeo. At the same time, Romeo too lay sleepless, remembering the precious times he had spent with Ronki. A few days later, Ronki's daughter came home with her teacher, happily showing her exam results to her mother. She had passed all her papers. Ronki was overjoyed and hugged her daughter tightly. Then the teacher mentioned that Ibukun had told her Ronke had been looking sad ever since Romeo left. Ronki replied that Romeo wasn't truly her friend, because if he was, he would have come to check on her and her daughter. The teacher felt pity for her and embraced her gently. Meanwhile, Romeo's mother told him that she would gladly accept the woman who had saved his life 1,000 times over before she would ever accept Rose. Romeo confided that he feared Ronki must hate him now, because he had distanced himself from her after all she had done for him. His mother encouraged him to go and see Ronki. The next day, Ronki was stunned when Romeo appeared. Her daughter ran happily into his arms, and Romeo apologized for taking so long to come back. He embraced them warmly. Later that same day, Romeo's mother hurried over when she noticed Ronki and seemed unsettled by her appearance. Romeo calmly explained to his mother about Ronki, and she relaxed, eventually welcoming them both in. Romeo then showed Ronki and her daughter to the guest room. Rose, however, was far from pleased. That night, Rose confronted Romeo angrily about bringing Ronki and her child into the house. She gave him an ultimatum to choose between her and Ronki with her daughter. Romeo, without hesitation, told her that he chose Ronki and the child over her. Rose was left shocked and deeply unhappy with his answer. The next day, Romeo returned from an outing with Ibukun, who proudly showed the ice cream he had bought her. As she was about to share it with Romeo's mother, Ronki stopped her and explained that she shouldn't give her the ice cream because she had diabetes. Startled, Romeo's mother asked how Ronki knew. Ronki explained that it was a gift from God. She could sense when someone was suffering from a particular illness. The following day, Romeo met Ronki in his room and asked if she would like to stay in his house. Ronki told him that she would love to, especially because of how kind his mother was, but she couldn't, because of his girlfriend. Romeo assured her that Rose was gone. Shocked, Ronki immediately blamed herself, but Romeo reassured her that she was not the reason Rose had left. Romeo then asked Ronki again to stay, but she refused, saying they were not in a relationship and she didn't want to set a bad example for her daughter. Romeo told her that they could be together, but Ronki insisted that it was impossible. With that, she left his room. The next day, Romeo took Ronki to an apartment he had bought for her. She was overjoyed, hugged him tightly, and even prayed for him. When he tried to kiss her, she pulled back and he quickly apologized. He confessed that he truly liked her. Ronki asked him to give her some time, about 6 months. Romeo agreed, telling her he would wait for her, and she blushed. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. Also, click the subscribe button to stay tuned for more amazing movies from us.